what is Chatterbox?
Chatterbox is the talking newspaper for blind and visually impaired people in the Norwich area. Our aim is to bring them the news on a weekly basis. We take the best stories from the evening news every week. They're read by a team of volunteers. They're put onto sticks. They also go online. So blind and visually impaired people can find out what's going on, whether it's hard news, soft news, sport, entertainment. We have it all there.
So I hear you're setting up a bursary for visually impaired, a student or graduate. So what is this for?
Well, the driving force behind this is to get more younger listeners. Many of our listeners, who are absolutely fabulous, are at the upper end of the age scale. They're perhaps over 50, over 60, which is wonderful. We want to keep them. But we'd like more young people to be involved, both listening and also behind the scenes. We'd like to find out exactly what they want from Chatterbox. And we think by setting up a team behind the scenes and also helping a young student, perhaps studying in the Norwich area, who's looking to advance their career in the media, will give us a lift up in this particular area.
So why are you doing this? Why now?
Why now? It's because it's a good time, really. No organisation can stand still, especially a media organisation, and we're a media organisation. And we want to change, we want more young people on board, we want to take part, we want to listen. We want to find out exactly what they want to hear from Chatterbox. Because if we don't look at the younger listeners, we're going to lose Chatterbox in terms of listenership, because everybody gets old. And we need new and younger listeners to come in, join and see what we're doing.
So what impact do you believe this will have on the charity?
First of all, we want to help the student. We want to help the student with their studies. We want to help them financially to give them a little bit of independence. And from the charity's point of view, we'd like to see somebody young and new come into Chatterbox with some new ideas, add a bit of innovation, help us along the way and give us some idea of what young listeners are looking for when it comes to producing a talking newspaper.
Where did the idea come from? Where did this all start?
I think basically it came from committee members talking about how we're going to move forward in the future. No organisation stands still. We all have to change and adapt. And we realise that we do need some young blood at Chatterbox.
Why do you think it's important to adapt as a charity?
Because if you don't, you simply disappear and die. And I mean that nicely. No organisation can stand still. We need an input of different people coming into the organisation, whether they're volunteers, whether they're listeners, to keep it going. Nothing stands still in life. And charities like companies and businesses have to evolve.
Can I just ask, how did you start with Chatterbox? How did you find out about Chatterbox and join here?
I found out first of all through my wife Sue, who was a volunteer here, and secondly through my mum. She was a Chatterbox listener. She loved listening to Chatterbox, and I realised how important it was to people who had visual problems and how it made it so much easier for them to keep up with the news, keep up with entertainment, keep up with sports. And not everybody can read a newspaper anymore. People do need help, and we hope we can give them assistance along the way.
Do you enjoy working with Chatterbox?
It's such great fun. We've got some wonderful people here. We've got some superb characters. I mean, the skills we have here are just amazing. We've got people from the emergency services, we've got people who work in the legal world, we've got people who work in finance. We're so delighted to have their help and honoured to have them as part of the team.
So what do you see for the future of Chatterbox? What do you hope will happen?
To keep growing our number of volunteers, to keep growing the number of listeners. We know that our demographics are changing. We know that the sticks, the USB sticks we send out to our listeners, they will diminish in number as more blind and visually impaired people get the assistance they need to go online and listen to our news updates. We know it will go more online in the future. And that's why it's so important to get our head around these new technologies and we grow with them and develop with them.